Hi, it's Mr. Mike here from the Sherburne Public Library, and I'm here with another episode of Storytime. We're going to start with a new poem today called June is a Tune. June is a tune that jumps on the stairs. June is a rose in a little girl's hair. June is a bumble of one small bee. June is a hug from the sunshine to me. Everybody give yourself a big hug. Let's try it together again. Ready? Get your fingers and pretend like they're going to jump on the stairs. June is a tune that jumps on the stairs. June is a rose in a little girl's hair. June is a bumble of one small bee. June is a hug from the sunshine to me. Right. Next, in honor of our summer reading program that's coming up, Oceans of Possibilities, we're going to count whales. What color are the whales? They're blue. And are whales usually big or small? They are big. Let's count our whales. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's sing our counting song and we'll sing big. 1 big, 2 big, 3 big whales. Okay, here we go. 1 big, 2 big, 3 big whales. 4 big, 5 big, 6 big whales. 7 big, 8 big, 9 big whales. 10 big blue whales. Let's try that again. Here we go. 1 whale, my apologies. 1 big, 2 big, 3 big whales. 4 big, 5 big, 6 big whales. 7 big, 8 big, 9 big whales. 10 big blue whales. Good job. Okay, today, this is our book. Does anybody know who that is? He's Curious George. Curious George is what kind of animal? A monkey. And what is he playing? He's playing a drum and a trumpet, or you might call it a horn. This is Curious George at the Parade by Margaret H.A. Let's find out what happens to Curious George when he goes to the parade. Look, our title page again. Margaret and H.A. Curious George at the Parade. Ooh, what do we see there at the parade? There's a big dog, and it's actually a balloon, a big old balloon in the air. Hey, did you know there's going to be a parade tomorrow, Saturday, June 4th? The Sherburne Pageant of Bands, big parade. This is going to be a little bit different. This is George. He was a good little monkey and always very curious. Today, George and his friend, the man with the yellow hat, were in the city for the big holiday parade. What color clothes does the man wear? They're yellow. What color is George? He's brown. They found a place in the crowd, but an announcement had just been made. The parade may not start for a while, George, the man said. The wind is too strong for the big balloons. Let's go in this department store while we wait. What do you suppose they'll have in that department store? They've got clothes. George and his friend looked around the store as they waited for the wind to settle down. Suddenly, something strange caught George's eye. What could it be? He was curious. What do you see in the window? It's a huge dog. Remember, there was the balloon, the dog balloon at the very beginning. But when George looked out the window, he didn't see anything strange. He saw the parade. He saw floats, clowns, and jugglers, and a band standing in straight rows. Then George thought he saw an elephant eating a treat. Down here is the elephant. He's got something in his trunk. Looks like he's helping the juggler with the balls. That made George hungry. It had been a long time since breakfast. Now he could think of only finding a snack. Why, here was a treat just like what he ate in the jungle. Fresh nuts, right off a tree. George was lucky to be a monkey. He simply climbed out the window and jumped into the tree. Then he pulled and pulled, but the nuts would not come off the tree. They were not so fresh after all. In fact, they were not even real, but George didn't know that. He pulled harder and harder. The tree began to sway. Can you sway like a tree? You sway back and forth. Suddenly there was a loud snap. Oh no! Then crash, down came the tree, down came George, and down came all the nuts. Luckily, George was not hurt, but still he did not have a snack. He raced after the nuts. He chased them around the elephant and under the clown, and then in and out of the band straight rows. "My perfect rows!" the band leader cried. "You've ruined my perfect rows!" The band leader raced after George. He chased down the street and around the corner, but he was not quick enough. Where was George? Where do you think George went? Soon the band leader tired of searching and went back to straighten his rows. He did not know where the little monkey had gone. George was nowhere to be found. Can you find George? He's up on the lamp post. George was not sure where he had gone either, and the nuts were nowhere to be found. After all that, George had lost his snack. After all that, George had lost his way. Now, how would he get back to the department store and back to the man with the yellow hat? Just then a bus was stopping at the corner. George liked to ride the bus. Maybe it could take him back to his friend. Quickly he hopped on the bus, and away they went. Ooh, what color is the bus? The bottom is green, and the top is yellow. From his seat up on top, George could see everything. The bus rounded a corner. Here was something familiar. But something was wrong. 2 balloons had drifted off course. Their ropes were tangled. The parade helpers were trying to fix them, and a crowd gathered to watch. What kind of balloon is it? It's the dog balloon again. Got tangled up with another balloon. As the bus came to a stop, someone yelled, "Catch that monkey! He's ruined our parade!" It was the band leader, and he was pointing right at George. George did not want to be caught, but there was no way for him to get down. There was only one way to go. Which way do you think he was going to go? Let's find out. George grabbed a rope and went up. Up, up he climbed, higher and higher. He was a little frightened, but he held on tight. Then he heard someone call, "George!" It was the man with the yellow hat. George was happy to find his friend. The man was happy too. George swung from one rope to another. Now he felt like he was in the jungle, swinging from vine to vine. "Look!" someone shouted from below. "The little monkey is fixing the balloons." Then George swung safely into the arms of the man with the yellow hat. The crowd below cheered. Everybody give a cheer. Yay! The ropes were no longer tangled. When George and his friend arrived back on the sidewalk, it was time to start the parade. The band leader was no longer angry. George was a hero. Even the mayor came to meet George. "I hear you created quite a stir, George," he said. "But at last everything is in order. Would you like to ride with me in the parade?" What do you think they'll ride in? Let's find out. They're riding in a car. Soon the balloons started moving, the music started playing, and the band marched down the street in straight rows. And there, leading the whole parade, was Curious George. The end. And that's Curious George at the Parade by Margaret H.A. Okay. Now, parade. Speaking of parade, like I said, there's going to be a parade on Saturday, the Sherburne Pageant of Bands. They're going to have lots of bands. They'll also might have some cars or tractors, and there'll be people on those. You might see some balloons, but they'll be small balloons that you can hold. Now, speaking of parade, parade begins with the letter P. Here's a capital P and a lowercase p. Let's sing our alphabet song to find out where P comes in. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? Okay, can you think of something that begins with the letter P? Let's go look for the letter P. Let's go look for the letter P. Let's go look for the letter P. Way down yonder in the library. Picking up peas and putting them in our basket. Picking up peas and putting them in our basket. Picking up peas and putting them in our basket. Way down yonder in the library. Do you know what this is? It's a pickle. Say pickle. Pickle. It begins with the letter P. Next we have a pig. Pig begins with a P. Also, what color is it? It's pink. Pink begins with the letter P too. A pink pig. Next, we have a slice of pizza. Pizza begins with the letter P. And here's a very tiny pumpkin. Pumpkin has the letter P. Begins with the letter P. You use this to cook. It's a pan, a frying pan. Pan begins with the letter P. Next, we have some paints. Paint begins with the letter P. And when you have paints, you need a paintbrush. Paintbrush begins with the letter P. And then, of course, we have our capital P and our lowercase p, our small p. Lots of things that begin with the letter P. Now we have some books that also begin with the letter or have letter P's on them, like Curious George at the Parade. There's a P. Here's one called Harp, Seal, Pups. And Pups begins with the letter P, but you know what? I see a lot of other P's as well. There's one that says Polar Babies. That's one. Here's a P, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and then there's one down here, 5. There are 5 P's on this book. Harp, seal, pups. Oh, here we got polar baby penguin chicks. Tadpole books. Again, polar is a P. Penguin has the P. Ooh. Lego superheroes. Penguin in trouble. Penguin begins with the letter P. You guys know who that is? It's Batman. Here is Princess Unlimited. Princess begins with the letter P. A polar bear in the snow. Polar begins with the letter P. Oh, my parents won't stop talking. Parents begins with the letter P. Oh, I have P on my shirt too. Oceans of possibilities. There's a P right there. And going back to our penguin. Penguin begins with the letter P. Let's do our rhyme to end story time. Penguin, penguin. Everybody get your wings ready. Penguin, penguin, turn around. Penguin, penguin, touch the ground. Penguin, penguin, waddle in place. Penguin, penguin, make a funny face. Penguin, penguin, flap your wings. Penguin, penguin, dance and sing. Penguin, penguin, slide on the ice. Penguin, penguin, wave so nice. Well, that's it for story time today. If you have a chance, come to the library and check out some of our books that have P's on them. Also, you can come to the library and get more information on our summer reading program, Oceans of Possibilities. Our kickoff will be June 29th in the park next door from 4 to 6 p.m. And like I said, you can come to the library and get more information on that, or you can go online and check us out. Hope to see you soon. Have a great day and keep on reading.